The Rocket Review is sponsored by Why Not Saloon.
We're so honored to have back in studio an incredible duo. They're a powerful country music couple. Obviously, I've got Kelly Lang, a great songwriter and performer, and country music legend, T.G. Sheppard. Great to have you both in studio again.
Thank you.
I
Always
have never
good to be
gotten
here.
used to that word legend. I mean, when I think of Haggard and Jones and Waylon and people like Charlie Dan, those guys are the legends.
Well, the thing is, T.G., when you have over 21 hits, you get to be called the legend. That's
Okay.
I didn't make up the rules.
Who's counting?
Much like the Opry, I didn't make up the rules. It just happens. We work with it.
Well, and first of all, it's great to be back with you. It's always good to visit with you.
It's always a pleasure because both of you are so creative and do so much incredible stuff. And I wanted to bring up the new album, which came out the end of June,
Yeah.
Chemistry, the Duets collection.
Yes.
And what I found interesting listening to the album, and I want to know how the two of you, first off, I know you recorded locally in Nashville.
Yes.
How did you pick these songs? Because I feel like, I was thinking before both of you came in studio here, I felt like it was like the country Barry White collection.
It is very romantic.
Because it's like one of those, it's like, I feel like you need to, put it on the turntable,
Need a
turn
glass
down
of
the
wine.
lights, get the candles going.
Right on.
Well, most of the songs were not duets.
Right,
They were more solo songs to begin
Yeah.
with, and just songs we love.
Yeah.
Just romantic songs, and some of them, like "Because You Loved Me,"
Right.
we felt like every lyric to that song was how we feel about each other.
Yeah.
So we thought, what a cool duet would that make? So we tried it. There were several songs we recorded that didn't end up on the album.
Really?
That just didn't fit, or maybe our keys were different, and you had to switch up things.
I mean, most of
the
these
voices.
songs that we picked for this particular project is woven into the tapestry of our lives.
Yeah.
I mean, we all remember these songs. I mean,
Right.
we even did one back from the '60s with "Too Late, Baby."
Oh, and I love that. I was going to bring that one
Carole
up.
King song.
Yes.
I mean, wow. I mean, everybody
my
remembers
favorite.
that song.
I love that one. When that one kicked in, because I'm a huge Carole King fan.
Yeah.
But it's like, but you guys made it work, and I thought it's so interesting because both of you, as solo artists, have performed a number of duets.
Right.
But now finally to do this, and I thought it was so interesting too. When you guys go out on tour. And you've got a huge tour. It seems, the tour roster this year is ridiculous.
It's crazy.
And we were talking before we came in studio to where it feels like it's like back, years ago. And we were talking about the early days of CMA Fest even, to where you would have a card and star, 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 star. And that's kind of the way your tour is this year too.
Yeah, it basically kicks off with Country for a Cause that we did.
Yeah.
And lots of artists come on there. It's like a family affair.
And sold out 10th anniversary, and you and TG hosted it. But once again, everybody comes on and does like 2 or 3 songs, which are all hits.
It's
and so
fun.
for one ticket price, you get to see all these amazing artists.
It was a lot of fun.
On a lot of the concert dates this year with myself, we have what we call the TNT show.
Yeah.
And that's the TNT Dynamite show with TG and T. Graham.
Right.
T. Graham Brown, the newest member of the Grand Ole Opry, which I'm so proud of him. And then on some of those shows, Kelly's with us.
Right.
On some of those
I
shows.
saw that.
the chick singer.
Along with Mo Bandy and some of those great
Janie
singers.
Fricke?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Janie Fricke.
Yeah.
So it's going to be an exciting year of touring, and and I can truthfully say that it amazes me now to stand on stage and see people in their 20s and early 30s singing the songs back to
Right.
us that were number ones before they were born.
Right, and we were talking too on a TG to where the music and everything certainly from your catalog and also from your hit songs, which you've had songs recorded by George Jones, Ricky Skaggs, everybody, but there's not a lot of artists that are out there performing these hits anymore.
Right.
And so for you, as a couple to be able to go out and do this, and and with your ties with Graceland and everything else, it's like it's just a great show, and you're sold out everywhere you go.
Well, it always amazes me that the demographic of our shows is changed so drastically. We still have the people who are in their 60s and even 70s
Yeah.
that were there in the beginning when we first started. And then we have all these new people that have come along. And I ask them in the autograph lines and in the meet and greets after the shows, I'll say, how do you know these songs?
Right.
Well, gosh, Mom and Dad played these in the house or in the car or in the truck or whatever.
And now it's grandma or grandpa,
Right.
the younger generations.
But time I get a chance to go out and sing with Kel, it's fun. I mean, because wow, I mean, she's my favorite singer.
Well, and I'll tell you what, with this Chemistries, album, I know it's going to be available on CD, obviously on digital platforms. And I checked out your Spotify thing, and where the songs are on there, you're going to have music videos coming out too, right?
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
We've got them in the can.
That's the plan?
That's the plan.
Yeah. But I really thought that when I was listening to this, I'm like going, yeah, you really want to play this like in the living room on like date night and stuff? It's like going, it's like.
Well, one of this Too Late Baby, as a matter of fact, every time it comes on, I want to go. It's very seductive and romantic.
But also, like TG said, a lot of the songs on this album speak to yours and TG's relationship.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah.
We're very blessed, and a lot of people look at us and they like 24 years together. That's like an eternity in the music industry.
Yeah, and also you're a cancer survivor.
I'm almost 20 year cancer
20
survivor.
years now. Wow.
Yeah, it'll be 20 years in December. So we're just really grateful. We're grateful for all of our time together.
Definitely.
We've both been through relationships that didn't work. So we now know what does, and we're really appreciative of it. So we love to perform together because it's just our connection. It's a unique connection that
and you take care of each other.
I try to.
On the road. I mean, I know it's like,
Yeah.
when I check in on you guys and you're taking care of TG or he's taking care of you.
Yeah. It's a wonderful relationship. People think it's, just an entertainment kind of thing, but it's it's at the heart. It's
So much
connected at
more.
the heart. Yeah. And the music, the thing that we recorded Because You Loved Me.
Right.
And I didn't know that TG would feel this way, but when I heard it back after it was completed in the studio, I started crying, and I looked over and he was crying. I'm like, what are you crying about? But it matters to us. It's not just that we're out recording songs. Those songs
Occasionally
really
there
matter.
are those certain songs that really and truly hit you right where you live.
Right.
Yeah.
And that one hit me because any couple that's been together any length of time, that's been through any crisis or any troubled times, in their career or their relationship, when you have those songs that hit you lyrically, I mean, they affect you.
Oh,
and I'll tear up at the drop of a hat if it affects me, so I don't think you were surprised to see me affected
Well, it's
that
just,
way.
it's sweet after all these years to know that music can still really affect your emotions like
Well,
that.
you guys are such a cute couple because keeping up with you on social media and everything else, and once again, like I said, checking in with the two of you, and I always feel like, it's just such a positive relationship. And I got to bring it up. I was very proud when I saw Governor Bill Lee with your song as a Tennessee State song.
I'm really proud of it.
I mean, how did that feel?
It's really, I'm not used to it yet. It's my song Under a Tennessee Moon. I wrote for my mom, Nancy Lang, many, many years ago, just as a gift to her. I didn't think really anything more about it. And throughout the years, several people had said, that really depicts the whole entire state. That would be a fantastic song for a state song. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Yeah, there's a lot of state songs in Tennessee because it's Music City, you got Rocky Top, Tennessee Waltz, Smoky Mountain Rain. There's a few of them.
But to be chosen,
But
Kelly.
to be chosen, I think there's maybe 11 total. And this city
that's
where
smaller
there's,
than the Library of Congress.
I know.
It's like,
when there's thousands of songwriters
Right.
and songs they could choose from, what an honor. It's still not, I'm not used to it yet, and I'm so thrilled. I haven't gotten the proclamation just yet, so I'm anxious to get that from the governor.
that is so exciting.
Yeah, so I'm going to hang that in the entryway of my home.
Right. Totally.
But to go down to the legislature that day,
that was super.
the
Saw
day
the
we
pictures.
went down there, and I don't know, they introduced you. You feel like royalty when
You
you
do.
walk in there. You feel like you're in the.
Yes.
To walk down the hallway and they're all standing and then you sang the song, and then it was a very magical day for me as a husband, being very proud of you that
I
day.
was so scared.
On all the stages you performed on?
Right. Well, I'm used to being around, music people, music-minded people, and when you're there in front of people that make legislative differences in the world and obviously in our city and all, it is very intimidating. I always felt like I was going to say the wrong thing or introduce somebody by the wrong title, and I wouldn't do good at Buckingham Palace.
Well, see, now, I thought you would be very comfortable because I thought you guys were the band for the Huckabee Show also. Because it's like, it seemed like every other
always
week
on
I'm
it.
like going, has he hired them?
Thank God for Governor Huckabee. We love him. We love him so very much.
No, we love his show because there's not a lot of shows that come out of Nashville
Yeah.
now,
Right.
Nationally,
Unfortunately.
and,
Yeah.
and that really and truly, from a production standpoint, is a great show.
Well, yeah, and you
Yes.
both do so great on his show and any show that you're on. But I got to bring up also, you've got 3 songs on Lori Morgan's new album.
Can you believe that?
One of your close friends and co-writers that you've written with and everything. 3 songs on that album.
That's a big deal to me. You know, the fact, I love her singing anyway,
Right.
and the fact that she would choose 3 of my songs on her new album. Actually, it's one of the title cut, Dead Girl Walkin' is the title of the album. And that's just, you think, is she just being nice to me? Nope, she's not just being
No.
nice because the label had to choose these 2.
Right.
So it
Lori's
really was nice.
Lori's a good tune girl. She knows great songs,
Right.
and so she won't do a song if she don't believe in it.
No, totally. And it's like, I think she may have to end up on your tour also. It's like, you guys can just keep adding friends, because I was looking at the tour list and it just keeps getting bigger. And you guys keep getting booked up. I mean, from the Smokies to all, I mean, you're going to have to take it international and like do a UK tour now.
I would be good with that. I
know
love
how well
overseas.
your Dragonfly album did as well. And then you and I had talked about the Old Souls album, which you did Old Souls and Old Souls 2.
Yes, I loved those albums. I love to just be in the studio. That's my favorite place on earth to be.
Right.
And just to record songs that mean a lot to me. It doesn't matter if I've written them or not. It's just fun to put your own spin on things. But the Dragonfly album was specifically songs that I have written, with the exception of a couple of them. And it's scary. It's like having a baby and you're hoping people think it's pretty, you know. And it's done well.
Great
and it's
album.
been so sweet to have new videos from that album. And we're going to have a new video from that album coming up
That's
pretty
what I
soon
heard.
too. Yeah.
Exciting. Well, and also, your book has done very well, and also in audio form. And I'm thinking, what goes great with a book? Another book. Maybe like TG's book. So I could have them
You're on me
both.
about doing my
I could
book.
have them
and-
both on my bookshelf, because I've got your book there, Kelly.
Yeah.
It seems like I'm missing a book.
Save a spot, because I'll be there.
Well, when we did the audio version of my book, that was really interesting because once I wrote and finished the book, I never went back to read it.
Right.
But when you go back to do the audio version, you have to read it word for word.
It's like you're reliving it.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I was so emotional after I got done with reading it out loud, and then he read his chapter too, which
Yeah.
was really sweet. I'll always have that, so that's a
How
neat gift.
incredible. And that's certainly with your dad's history with Conway Twitty and everything.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's the thing, both of you, I always think about with TG, growing up in Humboldt, Tennessee, and from a tiny town, and then making it, as the artist that you both are. It's like, what a great achievements.
I'm proud of
and to
him.
be able to do these an album like this, chemistry together today.
Well, the most amazing thing about my life and the journey that I've been on for almost 50, I celebrate my 50th year next year.
Oh my gosh. And you're 53.
And it's amazing, right?
I started when I was 3. It is the relationships that you build along the way.
Right.
It's those people
Yeah.
that you meet that you never dreamed that you'd become friends of.
That's the best part.
To me, is the most gratifying and most fulfilling part of my life, is to meet people. And I know it sounds like sometimes when we mention our friends' names that we're name dropping, but they're really and truly our friends. I mean, to become friends with Lionel Richie or Barry Gibb or Olivia Newton-John, these are just people to us. But I never dreamed as a kid that someday I would, and Elvis, of course, for a
Right.
while.
Bought your first tour bus for you.
Yeah, you got me started.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I mean, that is really and truly the most gratifying part of the journey.
Well, and also,
is
TG, I
those
got to bring it up
friends.
because you won't say it, so I will. But you're one of those people, you and Kelly both, that are always helping others. I know even with me, starting this show with the Rock and Review, and you were like going, look, you'd call me up, I'd be at the gym on the treadmill, and Kelly go, TG wants to talk to you. And I'm like, okay, well, let's talk. I'm on the treadmill. But it's like you always were helpful to me, and I know how both of you have been that way with other artists, and it means a lot. I think that's part of the family here, in Nashville, where both of you, Kelly and TG, help out other artists and people in general that are in the biz.
Well, thank you for saying that. We both feel like there's just enough room for everybody.
Right.
And we don't have any room in our hearts for jealousy or competition. We're just not that way.
Yeah.
People helped us along the way, and we love to be able to pay back.
I think
in some way.
we all believe that paying it forward is the way to go.
Absolutely.
I mean, you really and truly, we were helped by so many people starting out.
And
big
you
names,
continue.
names I've mentioned. And
Right.
so we continue it now with new people who are coming into the business. And we want to be there for anyone who needs help.
Well, and I'll tell you what, it's just incredible too with the new album. I want to make sure for our viewers that they know where to get the CD or, obviously listen on streaming for Chemistry, the Duets collection.
Yeah.
Huge tour, so many artists joining T.G. Sheppard and Kelly Lang on this, so it's like you're not going to see just two great artists, you're going to see more. And then there might be some other interesting things coming out this year with music and other
And
media
for any
outlets.
info like what you're saying, you can go to tgsheppard.com or to kellylang.net. Or follow us on our socials, or go to YouTube and see what we're doing there.
YouTube, we're putting up a lot of vintage videos.
Videos right now.
I've been seeing things that have been popping up of his that I'm like, I didn't know you did that.
It's so much fun for me, and once again, I enjoy it, as a fan of your music, both of you, to where it's like seeing TG, back on CMA Awards and everything like that, seeing you on Star Search and different things like this. I'm like going, oh my gosh, look at this.
How do you think we feel?
But the music history,
Yeah.
and that, you're not slowing down, you guys are speeding up, if anything else, and doing more, and doing it together as a couple.
Yeah.
We're just having fun. When
We're
it
having
gets
more
boring,
fun
we're
now than
done.
ever.
Yeah, well, and once you get TG working on that book too, I think it's going to be great.
Oh, well, getting him off the dime with that would be, I will say this, we are thinking about a podcast. And I think that would be, it's a lot of work, and we haven't really had enough time to really sit down and put a lot of thought towards it, but we're hoping to do that because I think that would be something fun, a different era of the
And if you only had any friends that you could bring on the show to talk to.
We're struggling with that.
If
but-
we
Just
only
one or
knew some
two.
people.
Right. I think I'll tell you what, it's such an incredible couple to have on the show, country music legends. And once again, check out their new album, The Duets, The Chemistry, the Duets collection. It's out now. It's on digital platforms, but also CD. But go see them live in concert. Go to their websites, go to the social media. Hopefully we come back up with the songs that you used to do in the living room also, Kelly, because I always enjoyed those.
I know, you always have.
And we got Kelly Lang, T.G. Sheppard. Thank you both for coming back on the show.
Thank you. Always good to be with you.
The Rocket Review is sponsored by Why Not Saloon.